This isn't going to be a very long video. I just wanted to put in my due diligence here. This is my first video post demonetization on YouTube. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep making videos as long as it's still fun for me, as long as I'm still having a good time. I'll tell you who I really kind of admire: Jerry Seinfeld. Not because I think he's all that funny or anything, but because he found a way to combine three things he loves into a creative endeavor and get paid for it. I'm talking, of course, about comedians in cars getting coffee. Seinfeld loves comedians and the art of comedy, the art of making people laugh. He loves all kinds of classic cars. I guess he owns a lot of them, but not all the cars featured on the show belong to him. A lot of them are borrowed. And coffee. He loves coffee. He combined all that shit into a series, and Netflix paid him to do it. I never saw the show until very recently, but I've been binge watching it this month. I like it. It's different. Sometimes I watch it while I drink coffee. If I had a series like that, it might be called Artists Indoors Smoking Tons of Weed. Which brings me to Bigfoot. I don't know why it brings me there, but here we are. So just go with it. I'm often kind of impressed at the lengths cryptozoologists will go to explain why no real evidence of Bigfoot has ever been found. Why no corpse was ever discovered, no strands of Sasquatch hair, no big piles of Bigfoot shit. Nothing but a bunch of shitty pictures, grainy video, and footprints. All of which can be easily faked. And honestly, it doesn't matter how clear the video is or how high quality, people will still react to it the same way. Some will say it's the best footage ever, and it provides conclusive proof that Sasquatch is real. And others will say it's complete bullshit, and the clarity of the video only aids in showing that it's just another hoax. I guess the Patterson film is still considered the best footage ever shot of this supposed creature, and that was back in the fucking 60s. It doesn't even look that good. The only reason it's cited as the most compelling Sasquatch evidence is because of how unobscured the Bigfoot or whatever they claim was Bigfoot is in the footage. He's just walking all along, all casual. Well, she, I guess. The Bigfoot video experts say it's got breasts and therefore is a female, but she's just strolling along, broad daylight across a dry riverbed or some shit, obviously aware she's being watched. At one point, even looks back at the camera like, "What? What are you doing in my yard?" But I've heard people claim there's no way it could be a guy in a suit because of the body proportions, the way it walks, with a bent leg style like an animal, and the way the muscles move. Actually pretty impressed that they can determine any of that shit in such a grainy video. But I've also heard people say it was a definite hoax, and even take credit for it. I'm pretty sure I heard the guy who founded Morris Costumes say that he made the costume that was used in the video, and another guy said he was the one who wore the suit in the footage. All I can say is that if it was a hoax, they really didn't try that hard to make it seem legit. Why didn't they just have Bigfoot wave at the camera while they were at it, Give him a hat and cane and have him do a little musical number. It just seems way too blatantly staged and fucking convenient. The thing had too casual of an attitude and made no attempt to run away or hide. I guess you can't spend your whole life looking for something that no one's ever found proof of. And that's what cryptozoology is, the search for something most people think is bullshit. They've never produced any Bigfoot shit, but they have produced plenty of bullshit. But you can't spend your whole life looking for a mythic creature without developing some theories, without coming up with some shit to say to people, and to repeat to yourself in the mirror to convince yourself that you're not a bloody fool who has wasted his or her life. They say things like, "Sasquatch eat their dead," and bury their shit. That's why no one's ever found any. Not sure how they explain how a huge ape-like beast like 8 feet tall and 600 pounds can be traipsing about the forest covered in hair and not leave some of that hair on the ground or attached to a bush or a tree limb. They find these big fucking structures made from trees that they swear are done by Sasquatch. No way any man could do this. And not a single strand of fucking hair? They got cameras set up all through the woods and there's no footage of them building this shit? They say Bigfoot lives in remote areas where people can't really get to or it's too dangerous to go there. Bigfoot must be as diligent about not leaving any evidence behind as these fuckers are about trying to prove they're real, because there certainly hasn't been any shortage of sightings or video footage, most of which has been debunked. You gotta admire their tenacity, though. They don't give up. They're still looking for him. Anywhere there's a Bigfoot sighting, they show up like the Ghostbusters all through the 5 boroughs, meeting and greeting any schizo who says they've had a paranormal experience. I liken Sasquatch to God in that it's pretty hard to believe that either of them really exist. Actually, it's harder to believe that God thing. That's quite a tall tale. It sounds totally made up. I guess a number of people have claimed to see both God and Bigfoot. Not the same people saw God and Bigfoot. I'm just saying there's quite a few people that have claimed to see either God or Bigfoot. But Bigfoot is just an animal that no one's provided concrete proof of. Lots of things no one believed actually existed until someone found one. Giant squid? What are you, crazy? Oh, never mind. Look at that. I try to keep an open mind, though. Maybe there is a God, and Bigfoot. Who knows? I'll argue the possibility that Bigfoot could be real, even though nothing has ever come to light to make a believer out of me. It just sounds like the more plausible story, like if someone presented both scenarios to me and asked me to choose which one sounds the most like bullshit. Option A, a large gorilla-like creature with big feet, or Option B, an invisible man who lives in the sky and watches you 24/7, and has a set of rules he wants you to live by. And if you do, you get rewarded by getting to spend afterlife with him in his glorious crib. And if you don't, he punishes you by making you get tortured for all eternity by this fucked up angel that he cast into exile. That one used to be his favorite angel. Just imagine what he'll do to you. So don't piss him off. Which one sounds more believable to you? Alright, well, I'm gonna go. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you want to. Please just like this fucking video.